You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's ZENNI.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. Happy almost Independence Day here in America, or as other people call it, a 4-day weekend. Yay! At least officially a 3-day weekend, but that's kind of fun. So a stream of consciousness today, a lot of that going on this past couple of weeks as I leave a coaching call, in this case a group coaching call, and just jump right into the podcast and try to share with you some of the insights that I gleaned from the call. And today, a very simple way of thinking that kind of made everybody stop and think. So hang on. If you've ever felt separated from your work or your who am I and what do I do and all that stuff, I'm going to have you thinking today by the time we're done, okay? It is the Daily Boost. How are you? My name is Scott. Thanks for stopping by. I was thinking about the Independence holiday. You know that years ago when I started, I was hell-bent on becoming a disc jockey out of high school. I did that. And one of my first jobs was in Tallahassee, Florida, working at the incredible FM 99, they called it. I was very young. I was 21 at the time. And every time I think of the 4th of July, I remember a promotion we used to do. Now think about this. Here's a time machine, right? We would have a van, and the beer distributor in town would give us dozens of cases of beer, and we would drive down to the beach. I think it was Apalachicola Bay. Is that where we went? I think. We would drive the station van, officially the van, with our T-shirts and everything else down to the beach and hand out beer to all the kids, teenagers on the beach. Man, have times changed? Is that crazy? Can you imagine doing that these days? I don't think so. Anyway, happy 4th for you if you're celebrating. And if not, well, you can celebrate the 4th anywhere in the world. So happy 4th, okay? If you're in America, it's Independence Day. Take a moment. Remember what it's all about, okay? And enjoy some good fireworks safely. So let's get into this today a little bit. Conversation was this. Now, the past couple of days, let me set the frame for you here and why this is important to talk about. I have been very consciously thinking about the type of coaching that I do. What I do on the Daily Boost has evolved over the years. But behind the scenes, I do some pretty serious coaching, and I've developed a pretty interesting niche that I do. And I'm kind of moving more and more in that direction. And so rather than being just tactical and tips and tricks that you normally get on the Daily Boost, I'm evolving. I'm evolving into things that are more like you would get if you were on a call with me. And to do that, I've got to be a little bit more free form because, to be honest with you, I don't have time to sit down and write out stuff. And I think it's better if I just kind of share. Is that okay if I do that? So same energy, same upbeat, but some real tactical, useful stuff that you can do. But the way it comes together I see the impact here and you're not seeing that. So I'm going to share that. I just want to let you know that's what we're doing. And we're going to go that direction more next year as I'm shifting a little bit my coaching focus. And some of you may be interested in that. We'll talk about that later. Okay. All right. So here's what it came down to. When somebody comes to me, personally, my style may not be anybody else's style, but it's mine. I kind of work in this transition market, kind of what I do. I'll tell you more about that later on. But what happens is people come to me and they want to be coached. They want to coach. They don't want a consultant. They want to coach. Big difference. They want the authority of a coach to kind of tell them what to do. They don't want a consultant to come in and tell them what to do. They want a coach authority that says, hey, let me guide you. I'll hold your hand. Let's go. So they arrive that way. Now, sometimes they arrive on the personal development front, personal growth front, personal transformation front. Now, you understand what that means, right? When I set some goals, I procrastinate. I don't know why I can't get off my ass and do stuff. Maybe they arrive that way. Standard personal stuff, maybe some of the reasons you listen to the Daily Boost. They come for coaching for that. Figure stuff out, feel stuck, feel stalled, all that stuff, okay? And that's really legit. We know to ground them in clarity, to ground them in their goals and their values. We know to do that, and that provides direction for people, and I just call people, personal people, regular people. So that's the personal growth front. So a lot of people arrive there. I do less of that these days. Actually, I have no clients I'm doing that with. So the other group that arrives at me are the professional side. These are people who have a job or have a business, or maybe they're retired. In other words, their identity, at least part of who they are, is professionally related. So you're that person. You've got that as well. If you're over 18, you probably have a personal identity of who you are, and you have a professional identity of what you do, right? Would you agree with that? So they arrive, and usually people arrive, for me personally, they arrive kind of a combination of the two. They don't really know which one they're leaning on. But in most cases, what happens is, because of what I do for a living, because I coach people to do this kind of thing, they kind of want to, move in that direction, and they just don't have a clue to how to do it. So here's where it gets really interesting. Let's establish what I just talked about. You have one identity that is your personal identity. If you have not figured that out, it's probably why you need some coaching to figure it out. You have one already. You might not admit to it. It's already there. You just don't know it. You have one, though. And you have your professional identity. And there may be conflict. There may be you don't match, which is kind of the worst thing in the world. I can't imagine knowing who I am personally and then having a job that doesn't match what I do and living life like that. I see a lot of people retiring and they're so unhappy. They spent their whole life in that conundrum, right? So your personal identity and your professional identity. Do you know the two? Think about it for a second. So when people come to me, we begin to work on whichever one they came to. Now, I know something, so come in real close. If you're coming to me for some kind of professional career, business building, you want to be a coach or something like that, if that's what you're coming to me for, I know something. A super secret thing that I know right now that I'll tell you so you know it as well. I know that whatever your goals are, they're probably not exactly what you think they are. It's probably going to be something else. And I know the issue is not the business side of it. That's all strategic. It's inside your head. It's your mindset. So I know that if I don't get you settled in your mindset, if you don't figure that out, then we can't get you anyplace else. So I do kind of a hybrid kind of coaching. And that's why I have Face Your Passion. Face Your Passion is essentially it's for that grounding and understanding of who you are personally, what your identity is. And once we have that really solid, then we can move you in the business side of it. You can do anything. Okay, I'm taking too much time here, but that makes sense to you? I told you, this is kind of stream of consciousness here. So you have your personal identity, you have your business identity. However you arrive in front of me, I know certain things that you don't know yet, which is why you came to me. And the other thing that I know that you don't know is pretty simple. There's a third you.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
There's the personal identity, there's the professional identity, and there's the combination identity. Now, I don't even know what to call that. I don't think I've ever even talked about that before, but I always coach to that because I can't separate the two. A lot of people say there's work-life balance. There is not. It's the same. How do I know that? Because you're the same person, whether you're at work or you're at home. So ultimately, It doesn't really matter what you tell me your identity of yourself is, and it doesn't really tell me what you do for a living or what you want to do for a living. It makes no difference. It's that third person, that third thing in between who you really are. And that's where the debugging and the coaching, and debugging is kind of a good word, isn't it? Because it bugs you, right? You got to debug it. That's probably where it happens. And that's where I spend probably 95% of my time, in that third place between the you and the work you, to figuring out that balance in between. Now, here's the really interesting thing that happens. If you can think this way, and most people have never even thought about this, when you begin to work on that third person, that third thing in between, you start to define yourself personally. You begin to make some choices. And then you begin to find yourself professionally. You begin to make some choices. And then that third person in between suddenly starts to move in a different direction. And again, it's kind of weird to think about. Conceptually, you have to really kind of wrap your head around it. But ultimately, we're walking around every single day as a kind of combination of everything we do anyway. I don't try to tear you apart to figure out, you do this, you do that. No. I know better than that. I know that you are a very complex person and that everything meshes between you. Some of you have kids, some of you don't, some are divorced, some not, some have money, some are broke, some are working, some are entrepreneurs, some are retired. I get it. And if I don't focus on that kind of, that third rail of life, man, that's what it feels like, doesn't it? Like a third rail, step on it wrong, it kills you. If we don't focus on that, we can't fix anything. But if we can get that balance right, and what happens is everything goes really well for you. Now, why can I say that? Because ultimately, if you think about this, and really dig into this, all right? If you're doing something you like to do, and if you're being the person you want to be, the combination is what you want in your life. That's the most satisfying place to be. That's where everything is working for you. You've got a purpose. You're doing what you like to do for a living. You're just living life with all the values you want to. It's that third place that it all works. Anyway, we just had that conversation. We spent about 25 minutes, 30 minutes on a call today. It was just eye-opening to go through stuff like that. If you're not in a group like that, if you don't have a place where you can have a conversation like that, and really just have somebody work you through the process, you really need to have it. It's so powerful. And I'll give you the opportunity here after the 4th of July. We're going to start a really very interesting coaching group, which is really kind of focused on that third thing, and also some other stuff too. So get ready. Hope that made sense. I hope I didn't take you off the rail today. Hope it made sense. All right, let me get out of here. You get the 4th of July tomorrow, right? I'll still be here. I'll record in advance. I'm not going to work. Don't worry about that.